2023 was an absolutely amazing year for LEGO Marvel. We got movie tie-in sets in the form of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and the Marvels, as well as some Infinity Saga sets. And a Series 2 to the Marvel Studios CMF line, with a lineup of some of the most detailed Marvel figures ever made. And most recently, the release of the highly anticipated $500 Avengers Tower, continuing the trend of Marvel modular buildings from 2021's The Daily Bugle and the Sanctum Sanctorum from last year. So, coming off the hype of such an amazing wave from LEGO Marvel, we now have our first look into what 2024 will bring to the theme with official release photos from LEGO of the January 1st releases. First, we have some LEGO keychains, which have never really been my thing, as in my experience, they just get too beaten up on a keyring. But here we have 4 new ones to expect exclusively in LEGO stores and shop at home. There's Loki with his look from the first Avengers movie, young Groot from Guardians Volume 3, a new version of Spidey, and finally Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider, who looks the same as she's always looked in the past. Moving on to the sets we can expect to hit shelves in January, first we have set number 76275, Motorcycle Chase Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock. And this is the first set in what I expect to become a trend in 2024, and possibly into 2025, of Venomized variants of characters. This concept, of course, isn't anything new. LEGO has actually done this exact same thing in the past with this Venomized Iron Man figure and the Venomized Baby Groot set. And Funko did a whole line of Venomized superheroes and villains as pop figures. But honestly, this concept just bums me out, because we're going to get all these Venomized variants of characters they've already made, instead of giving us new figures like a comic book Electro or Rhino, or any one of Spider-Man's villains who's yet to been given a minifigure. All that said, the Venomized Doc Ock figure looks good enough, as it's the same Doc Ock we've gotten the last few years, but his torso and head are printed half to look like Venom, plus a new design for his mechanical arms that honestly looks pretty good. The motorcycle is nothing to get excited about. I don't really know why Spider-Man would need a vehicle, and that will come up again in the next set, but it's fine for what it is, and at $10 for this set, you can't really complain. Next is set number 76279, Spider-Man, Racecar, and Venom Green Goblin. And once again, the build of the car is fine, but just seems unnecessary for the character. The Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen minifigures look like they always have, except for the decision to not give Spider-Man dual molded legs, but it is what it is. But what I imagine is going to be the biggest appeal to this set is the Venomized Green Goblin. Now, everything I said in the last set about these Venomized figures is still true and still applies, but I really like the look of this figure. More so than I did the Doc Ock one from the Motorcycle Chase set. Now let's look at Spider-Man's mask from the Helmets line of sets. This is set number 76285. And you know, it looks good. It's a little awkward because it's a mask and not a helmet, so you just gotta imagine Peter Parker's head is in there. But I think they got the look down perfectly for this set. Now I just need them to make Loki's helmet as one of these sets and I'll be satisfied. Lastly, for Spider-Man, we are getting an expansion to the No Way Home Statue of Liberty Final Battle set from a few months ago. This is set number 76280, Spider-Man vs. Sandman Final Battle. And the build for Sandman is cool, and when you put it together with the Statue of Liberty, it looks awesome. But I am disappointed not to get a Sandman minifigure, and that Electro and Spider-Man being pulled straight from that Statue of Liberty set. However, I can forgive all of that because LEGO has finally delivered a long-awaited minifigure, that of course being the Lizard. Now, this is the Lizard from No Way Home, which is based on the Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but the fact that we're getting a Lizard at all is honestly incredible. Overall, if you have the Statue of Liberty Final Battle, I would recommend picking this up to expand your set. But if the set didn't interest you, or you just care about the minifigs, I would say to just order the Lizard from Bricklink, as that's all you would really need from this set. Now we can move on to something that isn't Spider-Man, and that's buildable figures. LEGO has been doing these for a few years now, with stuff like the Baby Groot and Ant-Man, and I've never really hopped on the bandwagon with these, but this one, set number 76282, Rocket and Baby Groot, I kinda dig it. The Rocket is kind of derpy and nightmarish, but I think it has charm, and the Baby Groot full-size minifig being to scale with him is a great idea. Although, now I feel like LEGO is kind of backing themselves into a corner, as the next time they release one of these buildable figures and it doesn't have a minifigure in it, people are just going to be upset. Something a lot of people don't like very much, but I happen to be a big fan of, are the mech suits that LEGO have been releasing the last few years. We've gotten several of these from Marvel and even some Star Wars mechs, and now we have another one to add. Set number 76277, War Machine Mech Armor. The mech itself is pretty much the same as every other mech released from this line, just based off of the War Machine character. However, kind of excitingly, this is the first time we've gotten a War Machine that isn't based on the MCU, so the suit design looks much more faithful to the comic books War Machine, which I like a lot. For our last set, this is what I'm very excited for personally. It's set number 76281, X-Men X-Jet. This is, of course, to tie into X-Men 97, which is supposed to release early next year. This jet is a nice looking update to a previous LEGO set, and it looks like it has plenty of seats for your X-Men figures to sit. And while it's a little upsetting that they would put a watered down version of Wolverine from the CMF Series 2 in here, the other figures make up for that. First, we have an upgraded Cyclops, which just looks way better than the original one from the first X-Men jet, as well as Rogue, who is a figure I've wanted for a long time. Here's hoping Jean Grey will be next. The Magneto is a little ridiculous, but he's so different from every other Magneto LEGO has made, so I'm kind of into it. So that's my look at every Marvel set revealed for January 2024. Overall, I think there's some really good sets in this drop, and I will most likely be getting most of them as soon as I can. Let me know what you think of everything coming in the new year, and subscribe with notifications on and leave a like, as it's the best way to support the channel.